the pinnacle of human perspective.
Welcome to Unbiased and On the Fence. Well, I've done this recording before, but I wasn't set up to do it properly. So I wanted to show you guys about what I've noticed about the map changes, and I've got some really irrefutable evidence of the fact that this is a single timeline, and this has always been one timeline, and changes have been made to this single timeline that we're in. Not to say that there's no other timelines, but as far as this Mandela effect and the changes, this to me is irrefutable proof that it's just one timeline. Now, as we see here, we're looking at maps here. This is just, I'm just on the internet flipping through. Now you notice how Greenland is sort of squashed because they're trying to give you this rounded effect. There it's more stretched out. There it's kind of squashed. But here, look how much longer and taller that is. And that's really one thing you need to consider when you're looking at these maps. You see how tall Greenland is here. Well, years ago when I started this piece of artwork, this is the map that I started with. Of course, it's been changed now, but this is it. And it's basically, you can even see where stuff is not quite lined up right. The map got changed somehow, and it's really strange the way things have been moved around. And so basically, when I started my piece of artwork, I started with this map here, right? Then I added in these lines here because I was going to lay the word love in every language out, and I wanted to sort of have it bowed a little bit. So I came up with these lines as a guide. And then I locked that layer, as you see there. And then I began, you can see all the languages and all these different layers here. I've pulled them off there and combined them all down into this one layer here, which is locked. And this is the block I was working with. You can see here, I kind of laid all the words out in a grid, and that's pretty much how I work. So what I did was, using those lines as a guide, as far as how to lay out the letters, this way, that's what the black lines were. But I just used the map to know where I could put the letters, or the words, love, in all the different languages. So if I zoom way in here, you can see where, I took the time to, let me actually lock this layer here, unlock my letters layer. Oh, that's actually the black lines. Let me go up to this layer here. Now these are the words. Highlight it and make sure. Okay, yeah, this is it here. So I started with a piece of art. I'd lay the word across there, right? And then I would, pull it in as I need to make it match the land. And here we can see, I'm not sure if, now this was taking a long time, so at some point I was really crucial about how I lined up the edge. I didn't leave anything out though, so when you look and you see this doesn't have a word on it, that wasn't there before. And this landmass here, for instance, I would have pulled this down and filled that in, at least pulled it down, where it matched up down there. But I wouldn't have just skipped all of these islands here. So as you look here, this wasn't here before. This wasn't here before. These islands here were not here. I would not have just skipped over these. So this map got changed, although my artwork didn't get changed. Why didn't my artwork get changed? Because I just used the map as a guide. I didn't really exactly trace it, So as we zoom in all these places here, Actually, you know what I'm going to bring up? This will aid us in knowing what we're looking at. I'm going to pull up this navigator here. Now what this does is, this will allow us to see what we're zoomed in on, you know, as far as the world map is concerned. Let me, let's get it about like that. Get rid of the white area so I'm not wasting space here. So what this is going to do is, what you can do is, you can pay attention to the red box. Whenever you see this red box here, that's showing us what we're looking at. So the whole screen you're looking at is this red box that we see on here. And this will kind of give you an idea of where we're navigating around the map here. So you see I've zoomed out, the red box has gotten a little bigger. Zoom out, bigger. It's moving around. You can actually grab this and move it around like this too. But I think one area that a lot of people were kind of wondering about is right here. Amazing. I didn't even realize this is new here. I would have definitely pulled that down and filled that in. Now let's look at the Bahamas here. You see, I'm not sure if this is a mess up on the map itself. I've noticed the map was kind of messed up in a few areas for some reason. But this island wasn't here. I don't know what that is, you know. This island wasn't, these weren't here. None of these were here. This, I wouldn't have gone out into the water like that. So I would have squashed that down and fit it in there, stretched that out. Same way here. It must have followed that a lot closer than what we're looking at here. Just like I did here, you can see. So this wasn't here. That was probably about like that, but this wasn't here. And again over here. Now another area people wonder about South America moving. Now a lot of this is just the maps are skewed. Like I was pointing out in the beginning with here. When you're looking at these maps, you see how this is rounded this way and that's stretched out, and you know, some of these, South America looks like it's further to the right. I think that was one thing that a lot of people were mentioning. But when we get in here to this map and we look down, South America is right where it was before. This is extra, and this is extra. Not a lot of change to it. Now here is a lot down here, I noticed. Besides, see, there's some islands out here that were not here before. And look at all of this on this edge that wasn't here. I would have definitely filled all of that in. So there's definitely some changes. One area that I thought was kind of strange was, if I can find it over here. Here's some islands that weren't there. Here's, of course, the boot, Italy. And I can turn this off and back on and see if it... Okay, so I don't know what these are, but these weren't here before. That little island, you know, and you can see that, you know, I shrunk this down and fit that on there, so I would have done it here on this one. I wouldn't have missed it. I wouldn't have just not did it. So this stuff is all new. Again, this island here, whatever this is, that's new. Is that Cyprus? Or I'm not sure if the lettering, the words moved around. I'm not sure if they went to the right places. Really strange. Here is a whole bunch of islands that weren't here. Look at this. These weren't here before. Again, over here, I think where we were in Southeast Asia pretty much. So these are all new. All the ones here that don't have words on it. Even here, I would have brought that over. Here, I would have done something. Down here is another area that's got, look at all these islands. These are all new. That little tip coming out, that's new. You know, and then if you just look here, this is amazing. It's amazing that none of this was changed. I mean, here, this looks narrower. I wouldn't have ran that out into the water. I would have definitely, you know, done all of this stuff. So a lot more land mass if you really add it all together. It's all sporadic, but you know, in a lot of this stuff, could this just be the sea level changed? I mean, do we really have, okay, here's another area. I know there was a Mandela effect where people were thinking there was a landmass over here. There wasn't one before, or I'd have, you know, there would be words out there with nothing underneath it. Here we got some little islands on the edge. It looks like this used to dip down right here or something, because I wouldn't have left that big hole there. And the same way here, I would have filled it in, just like I did here. And you know, the funny thing is, I made a vector out of the example map because I needed it just so ginormous. You can see this is big. I wanted to be able to zoom in on it. So if you look over here, I believe this is actually not really there. I think this should be water, but because the map changed, it was probably missing a little vector point, and it just sort of jumped across there where it wouldn't have looked like that before, but it's sort of messed up now. But here we got some more areas. Here's another one. Whenever it doesn't have the gray around it, like this is, I think this is like water now. The same way with this little piece, so that shouldn't be there. So some things with the map messed up once it changed right underneath it. You know, it was probably already missing that point, but it wasn't noticeable because of how the shape was. Again, over here we got another island. That is further out, this is further out, and here's another area that I believe is water now that it's just filling it in and making it look like land. So yeah, that's there's a lot more islands here as well, and they are labeled. I wish I knew what the labeling was before, but you know, these are all new, or you know, maybe the sea level dropped like I was saying, and now they're viewable. Here's another mess up. Like, this should be water in here. See, it didn't have a gray around it, but you know, and then I think about it, I'm like, well, wait a minute, that never even had a vector in the beginning because there was nothing out there in the water. This little area right here is all new. And as far as the coast, oh, here we got some islands here in Central America. Got some islands here off the west coast. Again, up here, I guess this is up in Canada. Look at all these. This is just amazing. Where is Hawaii? Is that all the same? Oh, got another little island here, and a couple more over here that I wouldn't have skipped. So yeah, this is really amazing, and this is, you know, I would have had no reason to go and fake this. I mean, we got enough cool stuff now going on that I wouldn't have gone and manufactured this, or just maybe deleted some words or whatever I would have had to do to try to make this up. But here we go again. This is new. So this used to kind of come across right here where the word is, but this, I would have had the word go up, and there probably brought that little tally up there or something. I don't know, but I wouldn't have just left it empty. Same way with here. Really neat, really neat. Here's little islands here and there. It really is amazing. You know what is funny though? There's not a lot where you see sort of a word out in the water. That's what kind of leads me to believe maybe the water level just changed and more islands popped up as a result of it. You know, maybe we avoided some sort of flood. Maybe they were, one of the changes maybe they just released a bunch of water somehow, or taken water away so that as the sea levels rise, they don't, you know, overtake us as quickly. I don't know really what the change was, but I just can tell you that all of this stuff here is, well, here we go. What is this? Something was here, and it's not anymore. That is a word on the water. So if somebody was wondering something about there and said, hey, there used to be an island right there, there used to be an island there, and it's not there anymore. I don't know where it went. There's another area that was really baffling to me. Let's see if I can find it. Just here in Europe, I want to say, oh, here it is. Where was Denmark before? This is strange. Where was Denmark? Because there's no words up here. None of this was here. This used to be open. Same way here. This is, you know, you can see where I followed this edge. I certainly would have filled it in right there. That's new. That's new. This is crazy. This would have been filled in. It's not. And I believe, you know, this used to come around this way, because this, I wouldn't have not filled all of this in as well. This, you can see where I brought this up here, so this is new, because I brought it here and brought it over. I would have definitely brought it up higher or brought the K over, you know. This is just amazing. This is all new, so I would have definitely brought that over. So I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, does this answer any questions for you all? And you can see here where, you know, you can tell the original map changed, because they would have never released a map with the words overlapping like that. You feel me? It's crazy. So more land there. You know, let me turn off the stripe layer, so it might be blocking something. That was just so I could see how to better situate the letters. So, there's a little island out there. Here we go again, where you can see I was filling it in. I would have brought this down and filled that in. I would have filled this in. So all this is new stuff here. Where are we up in? What's this? Greenland. This is new. Maybe this is water in here again, and this is water in here. It looks like that's messing up. And this here again is water. That somehow the vector file is messing up there. But yeah, and just like that water's there, it would have looked like this. I would have brought that sea down, so this little peninsula thing, that's new. Same way here, I would have filled that in. So I'm not sure if this would have normally came up higher, because I don't think I would have left that big of a gap there. You know, some of the stuff I'm iffy about, but I know I didn't leave, like an island wouldn't have been left off there. How well I followed the edge, it was taking me so long. Oh, here we have letters out in the water. I would have definitely not done that. So this has receded, and I would say this came down here. How these changes were made and the people that live in these areas don't notice is just mind-blowing. Here's another area I would have had this D come over. It's just amazing to me. Once again up here, let's see, we're up above Russia there. So, I'd love to see you guys see what you think of this, and this might answer some questions, because it seems like it was just the way, this is Greenland here. Let me zoom out a little bit. It seems like it was a bigger practice back then to sort of squash it up here and down here, because just the size difference is just tremendous when you compare it to like that. Look how tall Greenland is, you know, and it all reaches up there. Those are so tall, but on the old world map, and you know, this one that's changed to, it's just looks so short, you know. But that's it. I do appreciate you guys watching. Please like and subscribe. There's more coming down the pipe. Thanks.
The pinnacle of human perspective.